Everybody, good Friday morning, top of the morning to you. What time is it here? 7:18 on this Friday morning. It's the weekend, y'all. There's no reason in the world why this shouldn't be just a wonderful, wonderful weekend. You know, you'll hear the birds out here chirping this morning. Yeah, we are in Hotlanta, coming to you from East Point, Georgia, sitting outside this morning. Hotlanta, it was 90 degrees yesterday. Bluebirds. I'm having a season of bluebirds, y'all. Let's do the morning post. Before toilets became a lecture, I got all twisted up starting off, didn't I? Let's, Eddie, be smooth this morning. Don't be herky and jerky, even reading this post. Let's start again. Before toilets. Now my thing, I should just start over, shouldn't I? But I'm not. Because here we go. Before toilets became a luxury inside the house, they started out on the porch. A lot of houses in Cabbagetown, you went out the back door, out of the kitchen, onto a little back porch, covered back porch, and then over to the side, to the left or right, there was another door, and the bathroom was outside on the back porch. My Uncle Ace told me one time the first time a neighbor put the toilet inside the house, neighbors whispered behind their backs about how unsanitary that is. And how lazy does somebody have to be that they can't even go outside to use the bathroom? They have to use it right there in their house. Times have changed, haven't they? When I lived with my Aunt Betty, from the time I was 12 to 14 down on Booth Road in Conyers, we had to walk down a hill to the outhouse. When I lived with my cousins, Annette and Paul, we carried water from a spring down on Carr Road in Millstead. I stayed a lot with my Uncle Aaron and Aunt Shirley back then, too, and they rented houses down in Millstead, different places that had outhouses, and we carried water and all that kind of stuff. I remember when a lot of times on the well, you had to hand crank that bucket back and drop that bucket, get it full of water and crank it back up. And as a little boy, I thought, I hope there ain't no snake or something in that bucket. But funny how much change I've seen in my lifetime. I have seen a lot of change in this one lifetime. And I'm a young man. I'm only 70 years old. Just as young and a whippersnapper as I can be. I'm still wet behind the ears, as the old folks used to say. I feel like I have lived parallel lives many times over in just this one lifetime. Do y'all feel like that sometimes when you think about you being a teenager and then your marriage years and your 20s or 30s and church years? You feel like all these lives are just different lives, you know? At least it does to me. They say a cat has 9 lives. I feel like I've had 7 or 8 lives, you know? I had a straight life. Then I have a gay life. And then, I don't know, I've had a healthy life. And then I've had a sickly life. You know, just different periods. Go on, Eddie. Funny what we can get used to, from struggling to get by to now not being happy if the temperature in the house is not just perfect, and needing a certain brand of mayonnaise. I used to be a blue plate kind of mayonnaise guy, and now I'm more of a Duke's mayonnaise kind of guy. I like Duke's. Ava doesn't like mayonnaise at all. She's weird sometimes. Doesn't like bananas or coconut. I asked her sometimes, are you human? What are you, a mutant? But funny what we can get used to. I asked a missionary one time that had come to the church that I was pastoring from Madagascar, and he spoke one Sunday morning, and afterwards we were talking, and I just asked him, because I've always been fascinated with other parts of the world too, and travel, and missionaries were fascinating to me. I asked him, I said, being from here and living over there, what is the biggest difference that you see between the people living here and the people living there in Madagascar? And he told me, he said, the people living there are very poor, but they don't know it. He said, even the poorest of the people here are very rich, and they don't know it. I just thought that was something. Um, Funny what we can get used to from struggling to get by to now not being happy if everything just ain't right. Oh, the car's got to be clean. The truck's got to be scrubbed down. We got to have certain things we love to drink in our refrigerator. And there's nothing wrong with all of it. It's just a different from 50, 60 years ago when I was a boy. 60 years ago, I was a 10-year-old little boy. That's a head scratcher, ain't it? What the hell? So, do y'all know that they used to sell plastic curtains? You know, you could buy them at I guess even before. There used to be Atlantic Discount over there on Memorial. There's a Floor and Decor there now. And me and my cousins, we'd go in there and steal albums. How we did that at 12 years old, put an album under our shirt, and all three of us walk out together. I was a thug, y'all. Just a pure old thug, stealing albums. That's how much I loved the music back then. We had a little record player. We'd go home and play them albums. But did y'all know they sold curtains, plastic? And Mama would buy these little plastic curtains and put them up around the house. Oh, they'd be floral designs on them, so cute. And linoleum rugs was a big deal too. You know, people in Cabbagetown would buy a little cheap linoleum rug. And boy, we'd lay it out on the floor in a little thin linoleum rug. It'd be so pretty with little designs on it. We'd mop and clean it. The house would look so clean. Yeah. Can you imagine what living will look like 50 years from now? Some say we are on the brink of medicines that will make people live a lot longer. I personally don't think. After about 85, 90 years old, that's long enough, y'all. Now, some of you, I know you like, Eddie, you'll change your mind when you get there. I hope I don't. I hope 90 years ain't enough. I don't think 150 years would be enough. But can y'all imagine what living 50 years from now will look like? Some say we are on the brink of medicines that will make people live a lot longer. Cures will be found for cancers and HIV and glioblastoma and all kinds of stuff. But if I'm being honest, I think the era of my lifetime will go with me in history as the best period of mankind to have had that chance to have lived. We began plane travel at some point. We fly up to New York or Paris like it ain't nothing now. Who would have thought that the little black and white TVs in Cabbagetown days would someday be these theater quality home entertainment centers? That's better than theater quality. Finally, I got a toilet put back in and working yesterday over at the Key Road house. My days of peeing in a cup and pouring it out in the backyard are behind me. When I peed yesterday and I flushed it, I thought, it seems like kind of a waste to use all that water just to flush a little trickle down the toilet, when I could have just as easily peed in that styrofoam cup and poured it off the back deck. My brain's strange sometimes how I calculate and look at things. What's wrong with peeing in the yard, y'all? Now we are heading into the part of the year where the 90s are here. It was hot as hell yesterday. But we sit in our cool, air-conditioned houses, sleep under covers to keep warm. No matter how you spin it about life being hard now, hard? You don't know hard like I know hard, hon. No matter how they try to spin life being so difficult and hard now, you know, talk about affordability and inflation, and price of gas. The MAGA people are so bent out of shape over the price of eggs, living up in their big old cul-de-sac, 3 and 4 car garages all up through Alpharetta, them MAGA people. Oh, the price of eggs, the price of eggs. Don't we remember that? Silly, wasn't it? No matter how you try to spin it about life being hard now, life's easy now, y'all. We have it better than we've ever had it. You might say, well, Eddie, you don't have the bills I have. Well, get rid of them. Nobody's holding a gun on you, making you live driving that BMW and having all these mortgages you can't hardly afford. Nobody's forced that on you. That's your choice. You don't have to live like that. You can get rid of all that. Just live out life being happy and say, oh, Who cares? You know, that's our choice. Because we came into this world with nothing. And let me go back and do this right. Over my life, some of the happiest people I ever knew didn't have much. But they had a good biscuit and a warm bed on a cold night. And they went through life just fine. For they came into this world with nothing. You did, and I did too. And listen, I got news for you. When you see that hearse carrying somebody to their grave, they don't have a truck following behind them with all their monies in the back. Turn that money loose. Enjoy life. You can't take nothing with you because we came into this world with nothing, and we can't take a damn thing with us when we leave here. I asked my daughter Heather one time, I said, Heather, what you going to do about your will with your house? She said, I don't want to leave my house nobody. Daddy, I wish I could take it with me. I'm like, well, that don't work like that. And she was serious. She said, I love my house. I'd take it with me. Happiness is a head thing, y'all, not a material thing. And God knows no other person can make you happy. Boy, that's a big load of stuff to put on somebody else. Oh, you complete me. I'm happy with you. No, people can't do that. Happiness is a head thing. Some of the happiest people I knew didn't even have washers and dryers, wash clothes in wash tubs. They cackle and laugh and giggle about stuff. They knew how to cook good pan of cornbread. Good Friday morning, sweet people. It is the weekend here in hot Atlanta. It is a good time of the year to put a lot of fresh vegetables in our body. Well, and maybe a little peach cobbler. I love a homemade peach cobbler. It's just so good. Anyhow, y'all, let's have a good weekend. Good morning, everybody. Love you. Hope you're in good health. Yeah, it's a joy to be able to do this morning. I enjoy it. Life's good, isn't it? Yes, I've lived in the most wonderful period of life, from the 50s to the 2030s. Good Lord. It's amazing, isn't it? But get off of here, Eddie.